The Xbox One X is touted as the world's most powerful console, but how powerful is it really, and what specs could match it?
I will never surrender.
So to begin with the Xbox One X, the heart of the Xbox One X is a custom 8-core Jaguar CPU from AMD, clocked at 2.3 GHz. If you were to match this in terms of specs, the AMD FX 8350 would actually be very similar. Not only does this CPU have 8 processing cores, but it also shares a somewhat related architecture. The FX 8350 is clocked at 4 GHz and would actually outperform the Xbox One X's CPU in terms of raw computational power. Up next is the system memory. The Xbox One X features 12 GB of GDDR5 memory. The tricky aspect that makes comparisons almost impossible is the unified memory. In a PC, you have your system RAM, which serves your CPU, and then you have your VRAM, which serves your GPU or graphics card. In the Xbox One X, the system memory serves both the CPU and GPU, meaning that the closest comparison we can make to memory is using 8 GB of DDR4 for system memory and 4 GB of GDDR5 for graphics memory. However, what makes the Xbox One X shine is the incredible bandwidth that this memory operates at. Because the Xbox makes use of unified memory, the CPU and GPU can dynamically adjust usage and free up space for the other one to use. This means that all of the memory must operate at the same speed, and because of this, memory bandwidth is 326 gigabytes per second. Yeah, you heard me right. This bandwidth is actually higher than the GTX 1080, which currently sells for about $900 and only has a bandwidth of 320 gigabytes per second. 326 gigabytes per second is insanely fast, especially for CPU memory bandwidth. Speaking of the GPU, the most marketed aspect of the console is easily its 6 teraflop GPU. If you've watched my previous video on teraflops, you'll know that teraflops can't really be compared. A console's teraflops are more optimized to run games than a PC teraflop. However, the Xbox One X's GPU, codenamed Scorpio, features 40 compute units with 2,560 stream processors, all clocked at 1,172 MHz. This GPU does in fact deliver the 6 teraflops, but only barely. If you were to try and match this GPU solely based on the number of teraflops and memory amount, then the closest you could come is the 4GB RX 580, which delivers about 6.2 teraflops. This graphics card goes for about $340 though due to cryptocurrency mining. Besides these specs, the Xbox One X features a relatively normal hard drive, a Blu-ray player, and Wi-Fi connectivity. In conclusion, in order to match the specs of the Xbox One X, you would need to spend over $600, and that cost doesn't factor in other features such as vapor chamber cooling. If you want to build a PC with specs matching the Xbox One X, I will leave a link in the description to a full parts list, but as for now, if you don't have much money to spend, the Xbox One X definitely packs a punch for the price. Certain aspects aren't as powerful as many people would like, but it plays games, and it plays games pretty well, and that's what you buy it to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.